What's up, all connoisseurs of fiction? It's me, Full0Grace, and today I'm going to be giving an overview of the book Artemis Fowl, The Time Paradox. This is the 6th book in the Artemis Fowl series. I've already done an overview of the last 5 books. I highly recommend you watch those videos before proceeding. Link in the description down below. Before we begin, let's quickly go over some of the characters we'll see. I've already reviewed most of the characters in my other videos. Artemis, Butler, Holly, Foley, Mulch, and Number 1. Artemis is still 14 years old. He secretly has a bit of magic left from his adventures in Hybris. Artemis and Holly also swapped eyes while traveling through the time stream, so they both have one blue eye and one hazel. Holly and Foley are back at the LEP, and Commander Trouble Kelp is in charge. Also, Foley is married now. Quan has been training Number 1. The young demon warlock is a quick study and is very powerful. Miles and Beckett Fowl are 3-year-old twins. Except for their hair, they are identical. Miles has straight black hair, while Beckett has crazy blonde curls. Miles is a younger and darker version of Artemis, while Beckett is more like Mulch. Damon Kronsky is the leader of the Extinctionists. The man is greedy and will do anything to be the center of attention. He always wears violet glasses and has no sense of smell. With that taken care of, let's get on to the actual book. We start off with Artemis trying to teach the twins some fancy words, but they talk him in circles till he gives up and starts finger painting with them. Our beloved main character is doing this for 2 reasons. 1, to get to know his new brothers better, and 2, to distract them while the doctors see to Mother. Mrs. Fowl is very sick, and it's unlike anything seen before. Later, Artemis goes up to his mother's room and uses the last bit of his stolen fairy magic to heal her, but it goes horribly wrong. In fact, she gets worse. Obviously, this freaks him out, so he calls Holly. Thankfully, she was already on the surface, so it doesn't take her long to get there. Captain Short takes one look at Angeline Fowl and freaks, immediately calling Foley. The 2 fairies run some tests just to be sure, but the results confirm Holly's suspicions. It's spelltropy, a magical plague that killed 25% of the fairy population before they managed to stop it. There has never been a case of a human catching spelltropy, so this must be a mutated strand. Artemis is certain that he must have given it to his mother, but to get the fairies to help him, he accuses Holly of infecting her. Since she was the last known fairy to work any magic on Mrs. Fowl, Holly believes him. This lie hurts Artemis, but he'll do anything to help his mother. Artemis gets Foley to tell him everything about spelltropy, specifically how they stopped it in the past. With a heavy heart, Foley explains that the cure is gone. It was the brain fluid from a silky Safaka lemur, but they went extinct 8 years ago. I know, I killed it. This statement, of course, shocks the fairies. Artemis explains how just after his father was lost, the Fowl bank account took a massive hit. Despite this, Angeline spent 50,000 euros to save the last silky Safaka lemur. So the young Artemis sold the little creature to a group of extinctionists. I know, it was a terrible thing to do. If I could turn back the clock. And just like that, he knows what they need to do. Once Number 1 arrives, they prepare to travel back in time. They'll only have 3 days in the past to get the lemur and get back. When they arrive back in time, they find they have changed. Artemis is 18, with shoulder-length hair and even some stubble. Holly has gone the opposite direction and is now an adolescent. Artemis has carefully chosen what time to go to, but our beloved main character is shocked when he discovers that his memories aren't accurate. Past Butler knocks them both out and sticks them in a car trunk. 10-year-old Artemis is quite intrigued by the pair, especially the one that doesn't appear to be human, but his priority is to get the lemur. While he and his bodyguard work out their plan to catch the lemur, the younger Artemis watches through a button cam in the car as something rather fascinating unfolds. A small hairy creature shows up and breaks the pair out of the trunk. They all seem to be speaking a different language, but he does catch the English word lemur. They're all after the same animal, and the young Artemis will do anything to be the one to catch it. And thus begins the first attempt to catch our dear Silky. In the end, the 10-year-old wins, but only because he threatens to kill the lemur. Down but not defeated, our trio regroups. While Artemis and Holly wait for Mulch to break into a shuttle port, the older Fowl breaks down and tells Holly the truth, that she didn't infect his mother. When the dwarf returns, he finds a downcast human and an icy elf making snide remarks about backstabbing. She'll still go through with the plan since it'll save many lives, but she may never forgive her friend. Artemis makes peace with her by setting up a conversation with a lost friend. Once they reach Morocco, the second attempt to catch Silky, now nicknamed JJ, begins. While our main trio manage to get JJ, they lose Holly. Butler captures the elf, and they sell her to Kronsky. The older Artemis is horrified by his younger's actions. While Mulch guards JJ, Fowl prepares to get Holly back. Kronsky is thrilled. Even before all his guests have taken their seats, he can already imagine how this will bring them back to the public's eye. As per tradition, they put the creature on trial. Kronsky will be the prosecutor, but some new guy volunteers to defend the fairy. At first, Kronsky thinks it'll be an easy trial, but this new kid absolutely humiliates him. In fact, he convinces the audience that the creature was actually a small girl that Kronsky took from an orphanage and gave implants. The crowd of extinctionists turn on Kronsky, so he orders the guards to defend him. The event turns into absolute pandemonium. Shots are fired. People are running and screaming. The fairy girl has vanished, but Kronsky spots the young man who has ruined his life. He pins the boy to the ground, and in the struggle, the mysterious newcomer falls into an incineration pit set up to execute the fairy. One down, one more to go. Holly is tackled by Kronsky. With almost the last of her magic, she jams her fingers down the human's nose and restores the sense of smell. The sudden change quite sufficiently incapacitates Holly's attacker. With that out of the way, Holly boards their stolen shuttle and manages to pick up Artemis, who isn't dead. While Mulch takes off with their shuttle, Artemis, Holly, and JJ prepare to leave. Their group once again travels through the time stream and prepares for the real fight. If you want to know what's really going on, how Artemis is still alive, how Artemis managed to turn a group of extinctionists against their leader, what took place during each attempt to rescue JJ, who's Holly's lost friend, how they got the past Mulch to help them, and will they be able to save Angeline Fowl, then I highly recommend you read the book Artemis Fowl, The Time Paradox. In fact, go ahead and read the whole series written by Owen Colfer. Anyway, I'm Full0Grace, and I'll see you all next time.